And I use this message, be who you came to be, to guide and inspire others to go all in on themselves, to align their passions with their purpose, with a company like Pink Zebra, and create and live the life that they deserve and desire. Now, this message inspired thousands of people to change their lives for the better. And I became so inspired by the message, I said, I have to take this out to the world. This is a message for everyone. This is a message that everyone needs to know so that they can go all in on their lives and not play small. It's a permission slip to grow, change, and evolve. It's this idea that you're never going to arrive. There's always something better, something greater, more success for you and for everyone else. So I decided I am going to take this to the mainstream. I hired a company. I hired a consultant. His name was Shane. And Shane, his company was called Overflow, and they brought stories to life. So I went to Shane, and I was so excited. I said, hey, be who you came to be. I'm ready. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to get on stages. I'm going to inspire people to change their lives, to go all in. I've seen this work for thousands of people. Let's go. And this man stared at me blank face, and he was like, really? And I was like, really? And he goes, here's the thing. I mean, you're just ordinary. You haven't climbed Mount Everest. You haven't won a Nobel Peace Prize. You weren't a famous athlete. You haven't started a Fortune 500 company. You haven't been in a shark attack and survived. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to climb Mount Everest. I'm certainly not going to risk my life trying to get attacked by a shark to gain credibility on a stage. And I looked at him, I said, Shane, this is why everyone needs this message. Because ordinary people do extraordinary things. Most of us didn't come to start a Fortune 500 company or climb Mount Everest or survive a shark attack. Please pray that that doesn't happen to anyone in your lifetime. But we can make a difference. We can make an impact. And so often, we feel like we're not enough. We feel like we don't matter. Maybe you feel like, someone asks you about your business, and you're like, oh, I've got this little side business that I do. Changing lives, making people's homes happier, all those things that you do that have this ripple effect. So I started researching on this, and I said, look, Shane, you can either go all in with me and do this and help me create this, or I'm going to go do it anyway. And then I started reading. I found out that the average person comes into contact with 80,000 people in their lifetime. 80,000 people. This is a picture of Arrowhead Stadium. That's Garth Brooks. We got some KC Chiefs people in the house. Woo! I'm a Kansas City girl. Chiefs Stadium seats about 77,000 people. That's you in the middle of the stage. Those are all the people you can impact. How are you showing up? How are you talking about the business? How are you inviting people into this business so they can be who they came to be and change their lives? Because ordinary people do extraordinary things, right? I said earlier I had this baby. You all, where are my baby mamas in the house? Woo! A very ordinary thing, but when it's happening to you, it's pretty extraordinary, right? We have all these interactions that we can make a difference, but how do we do it? How do we be who we came to be? How do we fight our self-sabotaging beliefs? How do we believe that we're enough to go all in and to show up confidently so that other people can show up confidently as themselves? It lies in emotional intelligence. When I worked in corporate, the most successful people had the most sales, led the biggest teams, all super high level of emotional intelligence. When I started working with entrepreneurs, same thing. They all had this heightened sense of emotional intelligence. It was how they showed up. This is the catalyst. We control what's in our heads. We control our thoughts, how we show up, how we choose to act on them. If you Google emotional intelligence, you'll read a lot of different definitions. Understanding your emotions, not only how your emotions impact you, but how they impact other people. Here's my easy to remember definition of emotional intelligence. It's how do you choose to show up? Not how do you feel, not if you're having a bad day, not if you're tired or angry or whatever. How are you going to choose to show up? That's how we make these amazing interactions with other people. We can get out of our heads and we can show up as the best version of ourselves, whether that is online, whether that is offline, all the time. What happens when you're in a room with a confident person? You're like, ooh, I'm real curious. This person's confident, they're loving it, they're excited about this business and what they're doing, and they're changing lives. I want to know more, right? But when we play small, people are like, oh, must not be that big of a deal. 80,000 people. How are you going to show up? And why is emotional intelligence so important? It's important because 58% of your success lies in your emotional intelligence. You know what? None of us are getting any smarter. We cannot change our IQ. But you can change your EQ. You can lean into this, get in touch with your thoughts, and choose how you show up. It's what we're going to be working on today. Emotionally intelligent salespeople bring in 2 times more revenue. 2 times more revenue. Think about that. What if you could double your sales? Just by how you're interacting, how you're showing up, how you're making other people feel. And here's my favorite one. Customers say that the experience is important as the products that the company has. And we know that you guys have amazing products. We know that you guys have the best of the best in the industry. You get all these amazing products. What's the experience? You're the experience. You are the experience. Let's elevate this emotional intelligence and get mentally fit. I call this getting mentally fit. Because guess what? I am just like all of you. I have bad days. I have self-sabotaging thoughts. I have negative things that I'm thinking. But here's the thing. You're not your thoughts. They've actually done all these studies on the human brain. We're not going to get very science-y today. But I'm going to tell you this so that you can believe the science. And here's the real reason that you're going to believe it, because you feel this. You know this. We all have these negative thoughts. They actually live in the back part of your brain. When you have these negative thoughts, your body produces stress and cortisol. Terrible for you. We do not like this. But the brain moves like this and all the negative thoughts. But what they found out was the front part of your brain is actually where your positive thoughts live. And your positive thoughts release serotonin and dopamine. And as we know, serotonin and dopamine squash stress and cortisol. So you just have to get control of your head and of your brain. And when you have a negative thought, you have to be like, oh, hi, negative thought back here. I'm going to shift to the front part of my brain and turn you off. We're going to be talking all about this today, how you do it, that you're not your thoughts, and you get to choose how you show up. It's about being who you came to be. You will find if you use this one sentence as your life's light, as your guide, you will be able to do all kinds of things. You will be able to squash your self-sabotaging beliefs. You will believe in yourself beyond reason, and you will give others the courage and power to do the same. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you with me? Okay, I got a couple things up my sleeve. The first and foremost thing is, today, we're not going to be a chicken. Now, I have these little rubber chickens. We're going to be doing lots of interaction. We're going to be talking, and then we're going to do some breakouts. Some of you are going to get on the microphone and share your goals. And when you do, you can earn a pink rubber chicken, okay? Now, don't be a chicken, really. Oh, by the way, I special ordered pink ones just for you guys. Yes.